Hello, welcome to Oxford Heirlooms. In this video, we're going to work on the little sleeves and we're going to create the little mock cuff with a little bit of flat lace, not gathered. Okay, now before I've got the pins taken out of my pattern piece, but before I actually move the pattern piece itself, I have to make a couple of markings. The first marking I need to make is at the top where the natural shoulder line will be. Okay, and then I need to mark the position to fold for the cuff so that the cuff ends up being the same height all the way along. And the last thing I need to do, this has a definite front and back, so I'm going to move my pattern piece and put that one that way and turn this one over. And I'm going to write the word back on this end and the word back on the right end on the other one. Okay. All right, now that preliminary marking is out of the way. So what I need to do is I need to go to the ironing board and fold the cuff up by 1/4 of an inch and then fold it at the fold lines. And then we'll come back and we'll sew the lace onto it. So I'll be right back. Okay, I've got those cuffs pressed up and I've gone ahead and sewn the lace into one cuff. Now can you see, I simply sewed it in about 1/32 away from the edge of the fold. And then I double checked by pulling the lace all along the edge to make sure that I had not accidentally missed some of the lace. So let me show you how I did that. Okay, I've got my cuff that is folded and pressed 2 times, and I've got a length of lace that's just a little bit longer than the length of the cuff or the length of the sleeve, and I pressed and starched it. Okay, now I'm going to just carefully put a couple of pins over here so that I can pick them up. Okay, now I'm going to carefully position this lace behind the cuff. Just kind of push it up underneath here. Just until I've got just a touch more than the header behind the cuff. Now there's a little design on the lace. Can you see these little dots above the footballs? Okay, I'm going to just line it up with those dots, and then I'll carefully put a pin in ever so often to hold that lace into place. Okay, now I've got my machine set to a straight stitch. There. Okay, that's good. That's nice and straight going down. And using, like I said, a seam allowance of about 1/32 of an inch. I'm going to sew this cuff down. And I highly suggest that you adjust your machine to where it's sewing slow, so you can make sure you stay on the cuff and without moving a little bit over to the left and missing the cuff. And like I said, about 1/32 of an inch, just barely catch the fold of the cuff. And that should catch the header of the lace if you've got it tucked in where you can't see the header. Okay, this is going to take me a minute to get all the way to the end of the cup, so I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got this second one sewn, and once again, I just checked along the length of the lace to make sure, you know, I had caught the header. But if you start your lace so that it's fairly stiff and straight, and if you pin and then sew, like you can see how close to the fold my sewing line is, it will hold the lace in there nicely. Okay, so now we've got mirror image sleeves, and in the next video we will work on setting the sleeve into the bodice of the bubble. But in this particular video, we were creating the little mock cuff with a little flat edge lace edging detail. Thank you.